Time is short. Time is short. If someone had told me when I was 20 years old that life was very short and would pass just like that, I wouldn't have believed it. And if I tell you that, you don't believe it either. I cannot get young people to understand how brief life is, how quickly it passes. It seems like yesterday I was in school. Every one of us here has been given the same amount of time in a day. 1,440 minutes a day, 168 hours per week. The fact that time is short calls for something now. Now is the accepted time doesn't apply just to the unconverted we talk to. It applies to us as believers, to us as young clergy. Now is the accepted time. The things we ought to do, the classes we ought to take, the books we ought to read, do it now. The family that needs you, spend more time now. Write that letter home now that you've been meaning to write. Money you ought to give now. Time for study, do it now. People you ought to witness to, do it now. Every time the clock ticks, it seems to say now, today. 70 years God allows us. And it's interesting to me, with all of our medical science, we've never passed that magic mark. The average American male today lives 70 years and 4 months. The average female, 73 years and 6 months. More people live to be 70, but the average age of an American is still 70. There may not be a tomorrow for you and for me, because there's a warning to time. Time is running out for all of us. Time is too short for indecision and vacillation. Do not halt between two opinions. Fools say that time is long. Every morning we have 86,400 seconds to spend and to invest. And each day the bank named time opens a new account for you and for me. It allows no balances and no overdrafts. If you fail to use the day's deposits, the loss is yours.
I will tell you from personal experience, the most discouraging times were when you're putting effort and you're not seeing progress or results. This can psychologically mess with you to not believe that enough effort is going to produce progress, and for the rest of your life you're just going to be like, well, even if I give my best, nothing's going to happen. Even if I love this person, nothing's going to happen. Even if I give my best, here's savings, nothing's going to happen. So for this to work for my head, my brain, I had to come up with levels for me to understand and manage expectation and a level of patience I need to have. And I created 7 timelines for myself. Here's what the timelines are. In order to see any glimpses of change, it takes about 21 days, right? The second one is 90 days. Anything that I did to my business, a new idea I implemented, I said, here's what we're gonna start doing every week on the such and such day. I'm like, okay, first week, no results. Second week, no results. Third week, no results. Fourth week, no results. Fifth week, a little bit of results. Sixth week, a little bit of results. 7th week, a little bit of results. It's not really working, let me drop it. 90 days, that's only 7 weeks. 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10, 11, 12, 13th week, bam! Oh, this works. I'm glad I stuck with it for 90 days. So far we have what? 21 days, 90 days, then it's 12 months, then it's 36 months, then it's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Here's how you gotta look at it. So again, 21, 90, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. The bigger the change you want to make, the longer it takes, okay? So if your change is a generational type of a change with a mindset and the way of thinking, your family's been known as the poor, broke family, you want to make a real massive change, it's probably going to take 10 to 20 years. Maybe your generation is full of entitled complainers. You're like, I'm sick and tired of me being linked to my generation and being complainers. I want to do something about it. Maybe you're going to be able to make a change, but maybe it's a 10 to 20 year type of a change. But your body, you want to make some kind of a change? Maybe 21 or 90 days. So what happens now if you're saying, well, Pat, I want to make some major changes in my life. I want to do something big. Great. Then that major change is going to require you longer term. But here's the other part. So far you got the timeline to manage expectations so you don't get discouraged, right? Now here's the other part. This doesn't mean 21 days later or 90 days later, you're going to automatically see results. No. Your level of urgency and effort will dictate the level of changes you'll see. So urgency, effort, and patience. 21 days, some people will say, I'll be patient for 21 days, but I don't know about 90 days. Well, that's your problem. I'll be patient for 90 days. I'll give this real estate thing a shot for 90 days, but I don't know about a year, Pat. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Well, that's your problem. Well, I'll give this thing a shot here. I see things going with this company, and I think it's gonna work. I'll give it 1 year, but I don't know about 3 years. Well, then that's your problem. Well, I'll give this thing 3 years, but 3 years, I swear if I don't get to this, well then it's my 5 year. I'm not giving it 5 years. Everything is about patience, urgency, effort. One of those three is lacking. If one of those three lacks, you're not gonna see changes. If you're not patient, you're definitely not gonna witness the change. So I started investing money when I was in the Army. One of my buddies like, Pat, start putting aside 25 bucks a week. I said, what the hell is 25 bucks a week? He says, it's 25 bucks a week, just start doing it. So I'm not doing it. So he starts putting $25 a week. Year goes by, 2 years goes by, 3 years, Army's done with. He went from 25 a week to 50 a week to 75 a week to like 100 a week, right? 3 years later, he shows me his account. He says, here's how much money I got. Shows me his account, he's got like $15,000, $18,000. I said, you got $18,000? You guys gotta realize $18,000 is a lot of money at 21 years old. He said, how much you have in your account? I said, dude, what are you talking about? What? The last 2 bottles of tequila, that's how much money I had. That's my savings account, what I had. I had nothing when I got out of the Army. Literally zero. 3 years later, he had $15,000. I said, listen, patience, effort, urgency equals results. So in one of these areas, I wasn't patient. All I thought about is 25 bucks a week. What the hell is 25 bucks a week? 25 bucks a week increasing 3 years later is $15,000, $18,000. Guy buys a Mickey Mantle rookie card in 1998 for $104,000. They said this guy lost his mind. He's the owner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. He buys it for $104,000. People said, you paid $104,000 for Mickey Mantle PSA 10 rookie card? Yes. You know what that card is worth today? $18 million. He kept it for 23 years. 23 years, the card went from $100,000 to $18 million. Patience. He had the effort to have the money to buy it, and he put the effort into it, right? So again, you either have a patient issue, you have an effort issue, or you have an urgency issue. Your urgency issues, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll start next month. That's not gonna happen. Then you don't have the formula in place. You either don't put the real effort in, or you don't have the patience. But if you got all three, and you know the 7 timelines, 21, 90, 1, 3, 5, 10, 20, you're gonna be all right long term.
Some of you're trying to get there too fast. Relax. It's gonna come. So what happens if you get there too fast and you're not patient, some people have gotten to fame and lost their families. They've lost their wives. They've lost their riches, right? They've lost their wealth. They lost their influence, right? They lost their name. Listen to me, and a good name, man, it's hard to get a good name. It's even harder when you lose it to get it back. So be patient. My second one, this is critical. When I talk about maturity, being patient, all right, I'm talking about finding your own voice. Are you hearing me? And you got to learn to shut the noise. I mean to shut out other people's opinions. That's what I mean by the noise. People used to tell me all the time, you're not polished enough. You're not refined enough. Listen to me. You wear a baseball cap. You know, your approach is too aggressive. Hear what I'm telling you. It took me years upon years upon years to find my voice, to find my style, right? To find what fits for me. And I used to have people all the time criticizing, critiquing me, telling me, yo, you can't do it this way. You'll never be successful this way. And listen to me, I feel what they're saying. Right, you're right. You will never be successful doing it like that. And you will never be successful, but you can't tell me how to do what I do. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with taking criticism. Are you hearing me? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with taking criticism. But what I am saying to you is this: you have to find your own voice. So be patient and give yourself enough time to find your own voice, man. Hey, it's your boy E.T. Remember, without struggle, there is no progress. And remember what I told you, patience, the mental fortitude, the mental strength to keep on going when nothing, you have absolutely no physical evidence around you that is saying you can make it. Just keep going, and I promise you, man, one day your dream is gonna be a reality.